Recently, I just saw a clip of Charlie Kirk debating with a woman on the abortion right. The 2024 US presidential election is approaching. The two parties have different views on the abortion. Democrats generally view it as a woman's right to make decisions about her own body. On the other hand, Republicans often frame it as a moral issue, advocating for the protection of an unborn life. Let's take a look on the debate.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped and she was going to give birth and she would, no, wait, would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's no, but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's two ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in, one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights
but
and it's all human beings.
But that doesn't matter. It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life.
If a person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you. Wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
So if you had a
Wow. Let's put this controversial topic aside. Please bear with me. I want to share a completely different story. So imagine this. If you and your friends encounter a shipwreck at the sea with no food, no water, and no hope, what would you do? Would you kill one of your friends to save yourself? This is actually a real case. It was a 19th century British law case, the Queen versus Dudley and Stevens. This is exactly what Dudley and Stevens did. They killed and ate one of the crew, and eventually they were rescued and survived. They were arrested and tried afterwards. In their defense, they claimed that the situation like desperate, you have to do what you have to do in order to survive. However, the defendants were found guilty by the trial. This case established a principle that necessity is not a defense to murder. The line between the necessity and non-necessity is very blurred and it's hard to define. If we allow to murder people under certain extreme situations, how can you draw a clear line like under this certain circumstance, it is not urgent and murder is not right, and after crossing this line, it is really desperate, so it's okay to murder? I believe everyone has their own opinion on it. If you have been going 10 days without any food, does that meet the emergency situation? If not, how about 20 days, 30 days? So back to abortion, same questions we are going to ask ourselves. Are there any circumstances under which we are permitted to end an innocent life? The answer is no. The idea that life itself ought to be outweighing personal need, desire, or convenience. Having a baby definitely will greatly affect one's career path and life for sure. But still, life should be prioritized over necessity, comfort, or individual choices. I'm not ready to be a mother or father at a certain point of life, or I don't want to be a mother or father, or I'm facing like financial issues that makes it difficult for me to support to having a baby. Those cannot be justified and are not morally permissible to end an innocent life. So back to the debate Charlie Kirk had with the woman at the beginning. I know it's emotionally hard to go through that situation, but still, the law of life should surpass one's feeling. I believe morality, what is right and wrong, cannot be founded on one's feeling. The ethic principle should be grounded in objective standards rather than subjective feelings. The problem nowadays is With the end of objective moral standards, the moral decisions are increasingly determined by the feelings. So the argument around abortion is not simply whether you support pro-choice or pro-life, but whether you believe that a child in the womb is alive or not. Late termination of pregnancy is legal in some states of America. The underlying moral logic behind this is that as long as the child is still in the womb, it's not alive. But late here is not precisely defined as well. 20 weeks of pregnancy, 24 weeks, who knows? People tend to have their own opinion on it. Unfortunately, America became more and more secular and no longer a Christian nation. People no longer feel morally obligated to God. Then everyone can do whatever is right in his own eyes. So banning the abortion through legal means won't change people's mindset on it. They won't think like, okay, I will keep the baby. Instead, they will seek illegal ways to get the abortion done, which will cause more issues. We have to bring back the Christian value.